So today we're diving into a really powerful idea, something called honor the bark. And it's all about a really dangerous psychological trap that honestly affects pretty much all of us, whether we realize it or not. I mean, really think about it for a second. That annoying dinging from your seatbelt alarm, or that friend who's always the one to point out the red flags, or maybe that frustrating compliance rule at work that just feels like red tape. Why does protection so often feel like a burden?
To really get to the heart of this, we don't even need a complicated modern-day study. The answer is actually hiding in a classic story, one of Aesop's fables, that just breaks this whole paradox down perfectly.
Okay, so just picture a quiet pasture. You've got these sheep, they're happy, they're just doing their thing, living in total peace. And why? Because the dogs are there, right? Always vigilant, barking, keeping the wolves away. But see, the wolves are clever. They know they can't win with a direct attack. So, they switch to psychology.
And this is just a masterclass in manipulation. The wolves go to the sheep and they completely reframe the entire situation. They don't say, hey, we want to eat you. No. They say, you know who the real problem is? The dogs. They're the reason for all this conflict. If you just get rid of them, we could finally have some peace around here.
And the sheep, they're tired of the noise, tired of the constant barking that reminds them there's even a danger out there, and they fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. They choose the promise of a quiet life over the reality of a safe one, and just like that, they dismiss their protectors.
Well, the ending is about as brutal and predictable as you can imagine. The silence the sheep wanted so badly? Yeah, it wasn't the silence of peace. It was the silence of being completely defenseless. The wolves got exactly what they wanted, not by using force, but by convincing their prey to dismantle their own security system.
And this right here, this is the core of it all. This is the paradox of protection. That protector, the dog, it becomes the symbol of the threat itself. It's like we get so annoyed hearing the fire alarm that we start blaming the alarm for the fire. We'd just so much rather forget the danger even exists.
What's so amazing here is how these characters map directly onto our own lives. I mean, let's be honest. Most of us are the sheep, just the trusting public, trying to get by, do our work. And the dogs? Those are all the unpleasant but totally necessary things. The rules, the boundaries, even that skeptical friend. And the wolves? They're the strategic deceivers, the predators who know the absolute easiest way to get to you is to first convince you to fire your own bodyguards.
But look, this isn't just some dusty old story. This exact dynamic is playing out all around us, every single day. So let's look at a few really clear modern examples.
First up, let's talk about the world we're all swimming in constantly, our digital lives. I mean, this is where the fight between annoyance and safety is a daily thing. Just think about every single time you've clicked allow without even reading the pop-up, or turned off a security feature because it was, getting in the way. That is sending away the dog. And the wolf, in this case, it's that hacker, that scammer, that platform that is just waiting to feast on your private data, your identity, or your money. You're trading a tiny little annoyance for a potentially catastrophic vulnerability.
Now, the stakes get way, way higher, and a lot more personal when we start applying the same pattern to our actual relationships. Have you ever had that friend who was, shall we say, a little skeptical of your new partner? They're the dog, right? Barking, pointing out things you'd really rather not see. And so often, that new partner, the wolf, will whisper in your ear that your friend is just jealous or controlling or toxic. So you pull away from the friend, and suddenly, there's no one left to sound the alarm. The wolf has you all to themselves.
And hey, this isn't just a trap for us as individuals. Whole companies, entire organizations, can fall for the exact same flawed logic.
So you've got a company that wants to move fast and break things. What happens? Well, the legal department, the safety team, they're seen as the dogs that are just slowing everything down, getting in the way of profit. So what do? They sideline them or cut their budgets. And for a little while, the company flies high in that silence, right before the wolf, a massive lawsuit or a horrific safety failure, comes along and brings the whole thing crashing down.
So what is the crucial point in all of this? It's that the friction, the annoyance, that constant barking, that's often the only sign you have that your protection is actually working. We have to train ourselves to value it, not to hate it. We have to learn to honor the bark.
This slide just lays out the mental shift we need to make perfectly. I mean, look at this. That person you call a troublemaker, maybe they're the only one brave enough to tell you the truth. That harmony a predator is promising you, it's not peace, it's just a nicer word for submission.
And please, stop listening to advice from people who just want you to be easier for them to deal with. And this last one, it's everything. A loud dog is a much, much better neighbor than a quiet wolf. It really becomes a conscious choice, right? A kind of affirmation you have to make to yourself. I'm going to value the uncomfortable truth from my protectors more than the smooth, comforting words from people who might not have my best interest at heart.
And this is a declaration of vigilance. It's saying that real peace comes from security and strength, not from making yourself vulnerable. Any deal that asks you to put down your shield first, well, that's not a negotiation. It's a trap.
So, as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with this one question. I want you to look at the areas of your life that feel peaceful. Is that peace the result of true safety, or is it just the silence that comes after you've dismantled your defenses? Is it the quiet of a well-guarded pasture, or is it that eerie silence right after you've sent the dogs away? Really think about it, and always honor the bark.